Welcome back to the Daily Pulse. Today we're diving into a thought-provoking piece from the New York Times titled Gen Z Fell Out of Love with Work. I don't blame them. The essay, written by journalist Emmy Neitfeld, takes us on a personal journey that underpins her take on an entire generation's relationship with employment. She opens by reminding us that generations shape work culture, and that making blanket judgments often oversimplifies complex realities. Neitfeld's story is a candid account of a teenager who dreamed of a better life while growing up in an apartment where mice darted through waist-high piles of trash, a result of her mother's hoarding habits. Her early years were anything but stable. She spent a year in foster care and, at other times, slept on the roofs and in car hoods. Those experiences, homelessness, an unstable home environment, a sense of perpetual scarcity, laid the groundwork for her worldview. The writer tells us that these hardships made her skeptical of the traditional promise that steady work guarantees security and dignity. This personal context frames her central argument: Gen Z's apparent disaffection with conventional work isn't a moral failing or a sign of entitlement. Rather, it's a pragmatic response to a world that has changed dramatically since the 2008 financial crisis. Generations that grew up during the gig economy, rapid technological disruption, and a global pandemic have reasons to question the old narrative that a steady paycheck guarantees a fulfilling life. The essay points out that the paradox of Gen Z's work attitude can be traced to a series of vaster shifts. Employers now often expect employees to juggle multiple roles, technology blurs the lines between the workplace and personal life, and the broader culture demands constant adaptation. All these factors contribute to a sense of fatigue that could easily be mistaken for indifference. Neitfeld mentions that Gen Z values experience over stability, that they are eager to pursue purpose-driven projects, and that many of them are more concerned with mental health than with amassing wealth. Despite these observations, the author argues that the problem isn't within the workforce itself, it's in the way the workforce is structured. Employers who cling to the Mark Baker style, 4-hour-a-week, plant-based, 60-hour workweeks for senior tenure are likely to lose the best talent, and they may have to rethink clay engineers to different models of employment: part-time, remote, flexible schedules, and opportunities for personal growth. It's also worth noting that she leans back on her own personal narrative to prove that skepticism towards the traditional training pipeline isn't born from indifference, but from lived experience. The writer concludes that reimagining work for Gen Z is possible, but both employers and employees must work in concert to adjust their expectations. In other words, if we want a healthy workforce, we have to change its expectations. That wraps up today's discussion. If you want to read the full column or explore other Cali pieces on changing work environments from the New York Times, check out the link below. Until next time, stay insightful, stay curious, and be part of the conversation. Thanks for listening.